Your dog is scratching. The paws are red, their ears smell. Your vet says it's allergies and prescribes Apoquel or Cytopoint. You give it. The symptoms calm down. A few months later, you're back in the same place, and maybe it's even worse. Here's what I've seen in over 2 decades of working with allergic pets. The word allergies is almost always incomplete. It describes a symptom, not a cause. And until we address the cause, you will be managing that pet forever. Today, we're going to talk about what's actually driving most pet allergies and what you can do about it. Let me start by breaking down the difference between 3 things that are often used interchangeably, but are actually really different. First, true allergies. These involve a specific immune response, IgE antibody mediated to an allergen. These can be environmental, like pollen, mold, or dust mites, or food-based. True food allergies are actually much less common than most people think. Second, food sensitivities, also called food intolerances. These are far more common. They involve a different immune pathway, IgG and IgA mediated, and cause more delayed systemic reactions. Think inflammation, gut disruption, skin and coat issues. These are what food sensitivity tests like UCARI and Glacier Peak actually help us identify. Third, and this is the one that nobody talks about, leaky gut syndrome. It's called intestinal hyperpermeability. Leaky gut is almost always the foundation. When the gut lining is compromised, proteins that were never meant to enter the bloodstream pass right through. The immune system sees them as threats and mounts a response. Every time the pet eats that food, even a food we think of as healthy, they trigger that immune cascade. And over time, more and more foods become reactive. This is why so many allergy pets seem to react to everything. It's not the food, it's the gut. So, let's talk about how traditional Chinese veterinary medicine sees these allergy patterns. And it is in a completely different and very useful way. Rather than asking, what is this pet allergic to, TCVM asks, what is out of balance in this pet's body that's causing this reactivity? The most 3 common patterns I see in allergic pets are these. First, liver qi stagnation. This gets expressed as itching, irritability, hot spots, and skin inflammation. This is treated with cooling, anti-inflammatory foods and liver-supporting herbs. Second is dampness accumulation. This is expressed as yeasty ears, goopy eyes, loose stool, and moisture in the skin folds. This needs drying foods and herbs that help resolve dampness. Third, spleen qi deficiency. This is where the digestive center is weak, and this leads to a poor food transformation and absorption. It creates a systemic reactivity. Treatment focuses on warming, easily digestible foods and spleen tonics. Knowing a pet's TCVM pattern changes which foods, which proteins, and which herbs we recommend, because a hot reactive dog needs cooling proteins like rabbit or duck, while a cold sluggish dog needs warming proteins like lamb or venison. This is why 2 dogs with the same allergy diagnosis can need completely different dietary approaches, and also why generic advice so often fails them. One of the tools that we use regularly in allergy cases is any tests that are doing sensitivity, food intolerances, environmental, and everything in between. This is a non-invasive test. We use hair and saliva sample. That tests for IgG and IgA sensitivities to over 300 foods and environmental factors. I want to be clear about what this is and what it isn't. It's not a replacement for a veterinary allergy panel. It doesn't diagnose true IgE-mediated allergies. What it does do is give us a roadmap, a clear picture of what's creating immune reactivity right now. That allows us to build a targeted elimination diet rather than trying to guess. And the results often surprise people. The most common culprits I see: chicken. This is one of the most common proteins in commercial pet food and one of the most common sensitivities. Brown rice, oats, foods that seem healthy but have been fed daily for years can create a cumulative immune burden. This is why rotating proteins matters, and this is why variety of the diet matters. We'll talk about both of these in a future video. So, here's how I approach an allergy case. This is a simplified overview. Every pet is different, but this gives you a sense of the process. Step 1, remove the triggers. We run a pet sensitivity test and begin a strict elimination diet with a novel protein, one the pet has absolutely never been exposed to. We remove all treats, topicals, and supplements that could contain these hidden proteins. Step 2 is healing the gut. At the same time we're doing that, we begin gut repair. L-glutamine, colostrum, slippery elm or marshmallow root, and quality probiotics. The goal is to restore the integrity of the gut lining so that when we introduce foods, the immune system and the response is calmer. Step 3 is add herbal support. Based on the pet's TCVM pattern, we introduce appropriate herbs. For a liver heat pattern, milk thistle and dandelion. For dampness, herbs like quack seed and alizma. Step 4, reintroduce and assess. After a minimum of 8 weeks, often 12, we begin reintroducing foods one at a time, watching for responses. This is how we identify true sensitivities and design a long-term diet. This is a process that takes time, but it is the only approach I know that actually resolves the cycle rather than managing it indefinitely. Allergy cases are some of the most complex and honestly the most rewarding work that I do. There's nothing better than watching a dog who's been miserable for 3 years finally stop itching. If your pet is stuck in that cycle and you're exhausted from managing symptoms without resolution, this is exactly the kind of case I take on in my consultations. The link to book is in the description. And inside the member circle, we run allergy protocols together every spring and fall because seasonal transitions are when allergy pets need the most support. Come join us. I would love to help your pet get on the other side of this.